Today I'm going to be putting together my new Jet 14-inch band saw. Been waiting for this one. This is going to be sweet. Let's get started. Alright guys, so there's going to be a belt that goes in here. It's going to go from this motor pulley up to this pulley up here. Okay, these pulleys have to be in alignment. Okay, we can go to here. That's as far as I'd want to go. So what I need to do is move that bottom one in a little bit. Right? So let's do that first. You see I moved that bottom pulley in a little bit, and then I could line up really nicely. So that's perfect. Perfectly aligned. See that? And I can tighten everything up and the belt should ride nicely. Okay, so now that I've adjusted the tension on this belt, which is I think just perfect, looks good. And then that moved that motor angle just a little bit, and now everything actually lines up just perfectly. Alright, so we're good on that. Now I've got the trunnion support bracket attached. And next we're going to put on the table. This all has to be fixed for sure. It looks horrible. Okay, here we go. This side here. Okay, so next up we're going to do some of the adjustments of our bandsaw. Now, I learned how to do this way back when I was in high school. So back in the 1980s, they used to actually have shop classes where you made stuff. And I made a roll top desk when I was in high school. And so I don't know if I remember this all that great, but this is how we used to do it. Okay, so the first thing you do on the bandsaw is you want to get this blade in the right position on this tire. Okay, so there's an adjustment over here on the right, and when you turn it out, the blade will go to this side. Oh, look at that, I'm coming right off. Okay, so let's go back the other way real quick. Alright, so I'm turning this thing clockwise, and it's rolling over to the center. Now what I'm looking for is I want to get the gullet of the tooth here, the deepest part of that gullet, in the center of that tire. Okay? So, pretty close to where we want it right there. So the next thing we're going to do is check the blade tension. Alright? So we're not going to check it over here though, because there's guides and things. Right over here. Alright? And let's see now, if you look on the back, we've got a tensioner back here, and we've got a little guide that we can use depending on the width of your blade. Tells you about where that spring should be to put the right amount of tension on the blade. Now we don't want to go over to here because there's too many things going on. So over here it's like free to move, and yeah, that's feels about right. So I've got a 3/8 blade, and according to this, it's a little loose. But over here it feels pretty good to me, so I think we're going to go with that. So the next thing I'm going to adjust is the side guides to be right behind the gullet of the blade, about a 1/16 of an inch. I don't know if you can see it from over there. this adjustment here, see how I'm moving that side guide in and out? I want to get it, let's push one of these in just so we can see where it's at temporarily. Okay, so that's too far back. That would be too far forward. So about right there. So I'm adjusting the side guides, these guys, so that they're just about a 1/16 of an inch behind the gullet of the blade. Okay. Looking at this thrust bearing right here, I'm going to loosen this guy. I've got an adjustment here. I'm going to bring it up. You see if it's touching. If I go too far, then just spinning this freely will turn that bearing. That's too much. So I want to back it off to where it doesn't turn that bearing at all. About like that. So it's just behind it. Okay, so now we've got these side guides here. Alright. So we're going to adjust them in so they're almost touching. But not quite. No touching, but close. There, that's pretty good. So we got side guides are almost touching. They're right behind the gullet. And our thrust bearing doesn't spin unless you put just a little bit of a touch on here. Then it spins. That's it. Now we're going to do the same thing for the bottom. Start with our side guide depth. Right behind the gullet. Thrust bearing. Back it off so it's just where it's just missing, just barely. Alright, that's good for the thrust bearing. Side guides are good. Now I just got to adjust these two and that's it. There we go. A little adjustment over here. And I need to go up a little bit. This has to come up a little bit. That's pretty good. Yeah, right there. Tighten that up a little. Tighten up my two thumb wheels. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright. Now, we're ready to make our first cut. Got a piece of 2x4 pressure treated. First thing I want to do is adjust my guide just over the height of the wood. So I can slide all the way around here. We're good. Make a cut. This is pressure treated 2x4 and I've got my guide adjusted right down to the height where I can go all around it, but it's close to it. Beautiful. It's probably a bad idea. Alright guys, so that's the Jet 14-inch bandsaw. So far so good. I think I'm really going to like this. Maybe be able to cut some nice shapes when we need to and use it for all kinds of cool stuff. Probably pick up a few extra blades and have them in stock, but so far so good. I'm gonna be pretty happy with this thing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Okay, I want to do a quick update on something I did wrong here. So I wanted to have this blade further to the right, so the bottom of the gullet would be in the center of the wheel. And I didn't because the blade was hitting on the back of this insert. Well, I actually had this in here backwards, and that's why it was hitting on the back of this, but when I flip it around now there's plenty of room. So I'm going to go back and adjust this whole thing. So when I move this blade over, then I'm going to have to readjust all these things too. So anyway, just wanted you to know that.